Joe Smith has been terrific. He and Varejao in this fourth quarter, the work they've done on that front line has been terrific for Cleveland.
Garnett comes out on LeBron. Now they switch, and here's Pierce again. A Smith screen. Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life has given the Cavaliers their biggest lead tonight.
Hello, and welcome to We Don't Know Ball, the podcast where we don't know ball and neither do you. My name is Santi, and with me as always is my co-host, it's Dugan.
Lovely to be here.
How are you, my friend?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a mess of chords. I got too many chords going on here.
Oh no. Just off camera is the mess of chords it takes to get my mic running.
Okay. Your fancy mic. All right. Well, as we were just talking about just before we hit record, we both don't have a ton to hit this week because we are kind of in the we're rapidly approaching the empty time of sports, which is July or June, July kind of. I don't know, sort of the last big sports thing would probably be the NBA finals, I would say.
Stanley Cup still going.
Oh, Stanley Cup too, yeah. But those kind of both end in June, right? So it's like,
yeah,
we're approaching the end here. But that's okay. We'll still find things to talk about. So did you go first last week or did I go first?
I cannot remember.
I think you went first. So
I cannot remember who went first a little over a month ago.
That's okay. That's the problem with doing this once a month is like I do forget how it works. But that's okay. We're gonna keep rolling. All right. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, because I got to bring football into every episode, the Tush push has stayed alive. The NFL owners met, I think it was last week. So like not this week that just passed, but I think the week before that. The NFL owners all met together to rule on a proposal by the Green Bay Packers to possibly ban the controversial tush push play, made most famous by the Philadelphia Eagles. And it did not pass. So needed 24 votes to win and only got 22. Yes. Thoughts about that?
I am proud to say that my Cleveland Browns were no bitches, no pansies, no.
Yep.
They did not vote to ban it.
Yes.
Also, what the hell? So it didn't just. It was weird. It was a weird thing because it failed horribly the first time they tried it.
Yes.
And then they changed it from not just banning one play, but
Right.
banning any football move that involved another player that's not a defender moving the quarterback or moving whoever had the ball.
The ball carrier, yeah.
Yeah, the ball carrier. Which eliminates so many of the hype moments that like the NFL has posted over the course of decades of like players almost falling down and then just in a swarm of people, and then the lineman comes up and just throws them out of the pile so they can keep running. Like and it got more votes by doing that. It got more votes by almost ruining the sport more than just banning the tush push.
Yeah. So from what I understand, like they changed the language so that it would go back to what it used to be. I think it was prior to like 2005 or something like that. So that it was like you said, like you can't push the ball carrier anymore. But I think a lot of the like flipped votes was, from what I understand, due to like safety concerns. So they had brought in like the NFLPA and like some other places like to talk about like, oh, it's, got these risks for injury or whatever. But it still obviously still didn't get enough to pass. So
yeah, but the QB sneak, the regular QB sneak, all right?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes hurt himself doing that. Let's talk about faces of the league. Patrick Mahomes hurt himself and was out for a bit on that because he dislocated something. Like
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think I've seen a single person get injured on the tush push, and the Eagles run it 59 times a year.
Right. Well, the funny thing is that like one of the teams that voted to ban it, which is the Buffalo Bills, they're like the second best in the league at running it, and they ran it the second most. So it's kind of surprising that they're like ruling to get rid of this very successful play that they run. But yeah, I don't know. I'm on the side of it's a really boring play, but also I think it's silly to ban it just because it works really well. Like I'm like, yeah, this one team is really good at it, and you know they have a right to run it, I guess.
I think I read somewhere that a regular QB sneak has a 88% chance of being successful.
Right.
And a tush push has a 92%. That's not enough of a difference to go, okay, ban the play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's silly to want to ban it. What the one thing I think that like if they were to change something about it to like modify it a little bit, I have seen some people talk about like they should change it so that the center isn't allowed to be like over the ball, right? So like normally when you line up for a snap, the center is supposed to not be like over the line of scrimmage, but for some reason with the tush push, they more or less are allowed to have their head like hanging over into the neutral zone. And so they should, this is just what I've seen, like, you know, talked about like they should be a little bit harsher about penalizing like that infraction. Like, you know, they should line up more along the line of scrimmage. And just enforcing that more would kind of, you know, make the tush push less successful because a lot of it does hinge on the defense can't even really tell when the ball is being snapped. And so a good bit of the success comes from like the surprise of you know, the offense moving forward, which is kind of why in the NFC Championship game, Frankie Louvu kept just trying to like jump, like just trying to time it correctly. Yeah. So we'll see. We got another year of tush pushing, or brotherly shoving, as I've also seen it called, which I think I prefer.
I think the only people who call it that are members of the Philadelphia Eagles organization.
Yeah. The brotherly shove.
Yeah.
I mean,
everyone else in the country calls it tush push.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I am proud that the Lions were the only one of the Eagles' 2025 opponents to vote against banning it, which I'm proud to say. And then also, it's also nice that the Packers took an L for this one. So get fucked, Packers. That's all I care about.
Get fucked, Packers. I have no opinion towards the Packers one way or another.
That's fine. I just think it's very funny. Like people have pointed out that like the one time they tried to run the tush push with Jordan Love, he like fumbled the snap and then like fell against his center's ass and just fell on the ground. And that's why they want to ban it because they couldn't run it the one time they tried.
Well, you need a quarterback who can squat a stupid amount in order for it to work.
You do need a Jalen Hurts who is just built like a brick. Otherwise, it's not going to be very successful. Or Josh Allen, who is just the biggest man alive. So yes. Anyway, that's all I got to say about
different.
Oh yeah, they are built different. All right, what you got?
I got something a little interesting about the Stanley Cup this year. So the finals start soon. It's been decided. We know who's in it. It's Florida and Edmonton.
Okay.
Last time Florida was in there, they kind of shit the bed against the Golden Knights. Go Vegas. But that's not what's interesting. Edmonton is in the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
And do you know why that's interesting?
Considering I've never heard of Edmonton in my life.
Well,
no.
it's a Canadian city.
Okay.
No Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup since 1993.
That's very interesting.
It's been so long since the team has even come close. Hey, yo, bring it home for Canada.
Yes, absolutely. If there was ever a year, it should be this year.
Yeah, bring it home for Canada. This is absolutely the Edmonton team that could do it.
Okay.
They beat the shit out of every team they faced on the way. Yeah. And I'm not just saying I want them to win because they gentlemen swept the Golden Knights. That's not why I'm saying that. Well, yeah, no, They haven't had a single actual serious competition this entire run.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I think we talked about this last time. I know nothing about the NHL, so
Well,
I'm very interested to hear about it.
yeah, NHL has a decent chunk of Canadian teams, and
Yeah.
honestly, this was probably the best chance in terms of a Canadian team getting in, because there were, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Canadian teams that made it to the playoffs this year.
Wow.
Toronto and Ottawa, who faced each other in the first round. Montreal, who got eliminated first round against Washington. You had Winnipeg, who died upon the sword of Dallas because they were so injured by the end of the St. Louis series.
Yeah.
And then Edmonton, who beat the crap out of the Kings.
Nice.
Gentlemen swept the Golden Knights. Gentlemen swept the expected Western Stanley Cup team in Dallas. And yeah, now they're there against Florida.
It would be convenient for the year that the United States politically has decided to just blow up their relationship with Canada. It would be funny if that's the one year that Canada was like, all right, fine, we're taking it back.
Yeah.
Give hockey back. You've had it for too long.
You're not allowed to have it.
That's our sport, which it is Canada's national sport. So they should. You'd think that they would have won it some more. What's that?
It's one of their 2 national sports.
Yes.
They have a summer and a winter sport.
I was going to say, I think they're the only country that has a summer and a winter sport.
Yep.
And
do you know what their summer sport is?
It's hockey in another form. It's lacrosse.
Yes. All hail the mighty lacrosse.
I did know that. That's one fact about lacrosse that I did know.
Yeah, Canada's finally back. They could be finally back, but the Oilers have just been so good this year.
Okay. Is it one of those things where it's just like maybe like basketball, where like all the best players, like even though like a lot of the best players are Canadian, they all just go to like the American teams because that's where the money's at? Or
not really. You see a lot of players like obviously signed because of things, but they're like because of money. But really, it's just been dysfunction.
Okay.
They just could never put together a strong enough team. Like they'd have good core players, but injuries just took it out. And honestly, there was a period of time in like the 90s to early 2000s where they just kind of picked up random GMs and didn't do shit with their rosters. But I mean, most of the teams in the league are in the United States, so you see a lot of that. And with the fact that most players are, I don't know if most players are foreign, but there's a decent chunk of foreign players, not just from Canada. That like, I don't know. I don't think that American teams pay more money has much to do with it. I think it just has to do with bad luck.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was going to say, like, if you think about like the like basketball, right? It's like if you're a really good, like Serbian player, for instance, you're probably going to go to the NBA as opposed to like playing in the Serbian basketball league, because it's like you're definitely going to get paid more as opposed to like. But I just didn't know if it was similar with hockey.
Like the NHL is probably the most recognized brand of hockey in the world.
Right.
But I mean, there's so many hockey leagues.
Yeah.
It's not like basketball. It's more like baseball with how many leagues there are.
Right.
There's just so many. Like every country has like a couple leagues. The United States has tons of them.
Yes.
Like my local team won the championship, and it's like it's not affiliated. It's not affiliated with anybody. It's just their own team that gets a really nice stadium.
The city where I live, which is not, I always say I live in Albuquerque, but I live adjacent to Albuquerque. We're getting a hockey team. So they haven't decided on a name yet, but we're supposed to get one in like 2027 or something like that. It's like you got the NHL, and there's like a league below the NHL, and then there's a league below that, and that's the team we're we're getting.
Speaking of teams getting names,
Uh-huh.
sorry to this is hockey related, so I'm going to say that it's actually on topic.
Okay.
Utah has a name now. They were
Oh, I
just the
saw
Utah
that.
hockey team for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
The Utah Mammoth.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I like the logo.
The logo looks fine.
Yeah. It's a mammoth for sure. It looks like a
Yeah.
hockey logo.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely looks like it. That's hockey logos look so fake compared to every other
They do.
sport. They look like those fucking Madden relocation team
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
logos.
Yeah. They look like UFL logos. Just like who came up with this, with this
Oh
logo?
god, who knows? Who knows?
Not to bring it back to football, but if there was a ranking of like which professional league had the worst uniforms, I think the UFL would be top 5. Their uniforms are horrible.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, just like terrible color combinations, like just a weird material. Like I don't know what's going on with those uniforms.
See, I think that the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League, could have been up there for a little bit.
Okay.
Because when it first started, one of their teams was called the Chrome, and they were black with teal and pink highlights.
Oof. Okay.
But when they were an away team, they were white with the same teal and pink highlights.
Ah.
I liked the Chrome, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But now they're the Denver Outlaws.
Oh.
They got their name changed when they decided to swap every team to having a city.
Yeah.
Chrome was kind of the odd man out.
Uh-huh.
As the Denver Outlaws were a really successful MLL team. They had a lot of fans in Denver, and they, PLL owned the rights to all the MLL teams, and the Chrome weren't that popular because they were bad. So, they just kind of were the odd man out. They got rebranded.
I was gonna say, I think if I had to make like a worst uniforms ever, I think it was that brief moment where the NBA was like, we're doing T-shirts, we're not doing, or they had like the sleeves. Do you remember that when they did like sleeves on the?
I don't. What year was that?
I can't. I think it was around the COVID year. I think.
What?
I believe.
Oh, maybe I do remember.
Yeah. Do you remember? Oh man, they were terrible. Yeah, for a little while they had sleeves.
It wasn't just a little while. It looks like it was a decent chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They finally went back to the no sleeves, but
no,
yeah,
this wasn't anywhere near COVID. This was it started in 2013 and ended in 2017.
Okay, I'm very old.
I completely forgot that they had sleeves for a while.
Yeah, I think everybody just put it out of their memory.
Well, in my brain, I think I know what happened for me.
Mm-hmm.
It looks close enough to them just wearing a jersey and having a a really tight jersey and having a really tight undershirt.
Yes.
That I think that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, no, that for a while the uniforms had sleeves, and I just think it looks
Miami
wrong.
Heat LeBron wore that.
Oh man. See, you have to remember, I feel like everybody's memory forms when they're like 18, right? So for me, like 2013 or whatever was like 5 years ago in my brain. I keep forgetting that was over a decade ago, but yes. So my brain is like, oh yeah, it was like 5 years ago. That was COVID, and I'm like, oh no, that was more than a decade ago.
Yeah. Oh my god, I really should have known this because the Cavaliers won the championship with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, NBA sleeve jerseys. We all just brain hold it and forgot about it. And then there was wasn't it like last year the MLB tried to do like a weird jersey swap and it looked terrible?
No, so they changed providers, I think, to Fanatics.
Yeah.
And Fanatics just didn't get good material for anything. Yeah. So the pants and the jerseys were see-through. They were tearing all the time. They weren't good quality. I think they changed the material back to a more standard material because I haven't seen that issue this year. But no, they was awful.
Yeah, it looks bad.
The lettering was horrible.
Yep. Oh man, did you see when they did that? Like, they tried to release that line of hats that had the logo in the center, and then it was supposed to be like the word would be behind it. This was an MLB thing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And then there was like some that like just turned out wrong. Like the Angels had the A right in the center, so it said anals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. My dad owns one of the Cubs hats for that.
Oh hell yeah, that's good. That's good. There was one, oh man, I wish I could remember. Oh, it was the Texas Rangers because they had the TE, but then there was a T in the center, so it said tetas, which is like Spanish slang for tits. Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love when organizations don't think things through.
No, you just need one Gen Z intern to look at your hat and tell you if it says the bad word.
You just need somebody to look at the hat for more than 5 seconds.
Yes, yeah.
I guarantee you what happened was they mocked up a few, but none of them were the problem teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, they just did like, I don't know, like the Mariners or something. And just were like, that looks fine. Yeah.
I can't read what's behind it, but I don't think that'll be an issue for the rest of the league.
Yeah, it's just fine. Which like that looks good on like a graphic because like you can have like the, you can mess with the Z space and shadows and stuff, but like embroidering a hat like that isn't gonna work because you can't like translate that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Silly decision. Anyway, we're way off topic.
Oh yeah, no, we went places.
That's sports related. That's fine.
Yeah, no, it's all sports related.
Okay. So my next piece of thing I wanted to talk about, if you're done, are you done talking about hockey, or you got more to say?
I'm good. Yeah, I've talked about hockey.
My next thing, I just have the 2 words. It just says Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
Because there's just, I don't know. Oh, by the way, your mic is freaking out. Okay, it's back.
Okay, give me a second.
Good. No, you're good. For a second there, it was once again sounding like you were in the like the Blade Runner, like that when he has to do that test, where he's whatever. That's what that sounded like for a second. Anyway, this is like old news by now, but I think it was like May 17th or something was the WNBA like opening weekend. So there was like a game I think on Friday and then on Saturday. The Fever played the Sky, so that's Caitlin Clark's team, and then she was going up against Angel Reese, and they've kind of had like a long-standing rivalry, dating all the way back to college, right? Because they had met like in the college finals, and then a couple of things went back and forth. So there was some drama with like Reese was going up for a layup, and Caitlin Clark kind of hard fouled her, just to get her to go to the free throw line, and then there's a little bit of a scrum happen, and some technical fouls were thrown. Yeah, just I don't know. I don't really have anything like super crazy to say about it without getting into the weeds on things that I probably shouldn't say on a podcast where we're not supposed to talk about politics. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something, just lots of stuff.
The only thing I'll say about it, and well, actually, I have a few things to say about it, but the main thing is, I get it was a hard foul. It was.
Yeah.
It was a hard foul.
Right.
But this is basketball.
Yeah.
People get hard fouled all the time.
Yeah.
And Angel Reese is not a great free throw shooter. It's hack-a-shack.
Yeah.
It's just hack-a-shack. Have you seen some of the fouls that are committed against Shaq at the height of hack-a-shack?
Yeah.
To me, there's no difference between the two, and I love hack-a-shack. So
yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a lot of like drumming up a narrative just for the sake of it, right? Because people feel like there has to be like a thing to talk about, which like I like a good rivalry in sports. I think that's like part of what makes sports fun. But I don't know. I do feel like there's this thing with Caitlin Clark where people want to make her like and in many ways she is sort of the like face of the WNBA, but like there is this thing of like I feel like there's a lot of like people really like her and the unspoken thing is that like they like her because she's like an aggressive white lady, and it's like I feel like, you know, I don't know. There's a lot there that like I don't know how to unpack.
It does feel like it was like there's a lot of stuff being drummed up for narrative because I mean, you get hard fouled like that, you're gonna get pissed. You're gonna be upset. Your teammates are gonna get upset too. I mean, we saw it a lot last year with like I'm sure it happened across the league, but everybody saw the highlights of Caitlin Clark getting hit hard.
Oh yeah.
But like after every single one of those, there was people who were upset.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't see any difference between the two in terms of reaction or anything. It's basketball.
Yeah.
Watch a game of NBA or college, somebody gets hard fouled, you get like you see people get emotional. It feels like a lot being drummed up about nothing. I know Caitlin Clark's hurt right now.
Yeah, she is. I think she has like a calf strain or something like that.
Yeah. But I definitely think that this whole thing is being blown out of proportion. It was a hard foul. Yeah, sure, they're rivals, but who cares?
Yeah, I agree. I think part of it is too that like I think there's a lot of like unwarranted hate towards Angel Reese where people criticize her while also like praising Caitlin Clark for a lot of the same things, right? Like sort of that competitive, like feisty spirit. Like when Angel Reese does something like, you know, like that, it's a lot of like, she's just whatever. And then when Caitlin Clark does it, it's like, look at how competitive she is. And it's like,
yeah,
I feel like there's something happening here that like we're not talking about. You know what I'm saying?
It feels like, look, a lot of people compare it to Magic and Bird because like that helped skyrocket NBA popularity because you know, of the rivalry. And they're like, oh, this is WNBA's version of it. And it's like, okay, then let it be that.
Right. Exactly.
Go back and watch highlights or just footage of Magic and Bird go up because they hated each other on the court.
Oh yeah.
They were so close to throwing hands every game.
Yeah.
Let them show that there's a rivalry.
Yeah.
And if they aren't showing that there's a rivalry and it's just every once in a while there's a hard foul that just kind of happens, maybe you're drumming up nothing out of nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Making a mountain out of a molehill or
Yeah, you nailed it. That's the analogy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That being said, though, I think everybody should go watch the WNBA because it's very entertaining.
It is very entertaining. You know, not as many dunks, but I mean, I don't really care too much.
No, I don't either. And I like it because
if I want to see dunks, I can watch a LeBron highlight compilation.
Yeah. I like it because it does feel very like reminiscent of like college basketball, where it's a lot of people playing hard the whole game as opposed to like, you know, just the last 10 games of the season or whatever the NBA is. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. Everybody should go watch the WNBA. It doesn't get, even though it's like way more popular now than it's ever been. Yeah, everybody go watch the WNBA. It's fun. If you can catch it. It's getting to be like the NBA where it's just on random channels that you can't find. But that could be a whole topic in and of itself, is how fucking hard it is to watch certain sports.
Oh God, don't even get me into it. I'll get into it in a little bit when I end up talking about lacrosse for way too long.
Yeah.
It'll be part of it, but yeah.
That's what I do. I come here to complain.
A perfect place for it. No judgment.
Yeah. I'm in my old man era. I'm just here to complain and yell about young people. Let's talk lacrosse.
Right. Actually, I'm not going to talk about lacrosse just yet. I have one more thing I want to talk about before. It's very brief. It's very brief. Indiana Pacers.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I am not an Indiana Pacers fan.
Okay.
Normally.
Yes.
However, when a team from the state in which you live in is about to go to the finals, you become a fan of said team because you want to be at that parade. The parade is less than 2 miles. Like if they win everything, win it all, it's less than 2 miles from where I live.
Yeah.
I'm going to it if it happens. But yeah, Pacers, they have exceeded any and all expectations I had for them this year.
Oh yeah. No, they're doing incredible.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically all I had to say. All I had to say was congratulations, Pacers. Go beat the Thunder, because for some reason I don't know what I genuinely don't know what it is. I have a really weird like hatred for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Really?
I have zero reason for it. They have never won championship. I hate them more than I hate the Warriors.
That's
when
fascinating.
I hated them more than I hated the Warriors when the Warriors were at the peak of their dynasty. I don't know what causes it.
That's fair. I've always had like a little love for the Thunder from back when they were like first a thing, right? And they had there was that very brief magical time where they had Westbrook and Durant, and it was like
Westbrook, Durant, Harden, and Ibaka.
Yeah, and it was like the most
with Kendrick
exciting...
Perkins being there, claiming he was the
right
key to the locker room.
But it was like the most exciting basketball, like, because I was pretty young when that was all going down, so I remember it pretty clearly. But I just remember it being a lot of fun, and like the team was pretty new, so like the fans were really excited. Yeah, I don't know. I've never like had any real specific feelings, but like admiration for the Thunder. But it is a little frustrating when a team like that series was kind of boring. It was literally just the Thunder just dominating the Timberwolves pretty much. And it's like whenever that happens, you're kind of like, meh. I don't know if I really have any love for this team.
It's not just that. Anytime that the Thunder are mentioned as being good, I'm like,
That's fair.
It's just a weird little hatred I have for a team I have no reason to hate.
Yeah, that's fair. I have teams that I hate for no real reason. That's, I'm trying to think of one. Like, I can't stand the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for some reason. I have no reason for that. I just don't like them. But
okay.
I feel like there's another one that I'm always like, whenever they're brought up, I'm like, but I can't think. I mean, I don't like the Lakers, but that's just universal. Like, I don't like any of the like big, huge teams. Like, I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like the Lakers. I don't like the Niners. Like, I just, any of those, like, they got a ton of annoying fans I don't like. But the Yankees, the Dodgers, like, just any of those. But besides them, I'm like, whatever.
It's so weird because, like, when I really started paying attention to basketball was, I want to say, like, Durant was still on the Thunder, but I think Harden had left at that point. I had my own little hatred towards him when he was in Houston.
Yeah.
And then Durant was on the team and he left. And my first instinct when he left wasn't, oh, the Warriors are ruining basketball. It was good. He's no the Thunder. So all my hatred then got funneled into Russell Westbrook, to the point where, like, I was actively in conversations with friends discrediting Russell like accomplishments and how good he is. And now he's not on the team. I'm like, oh man, Russ in his prime though.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. I feel you. You.
And now I find myself going like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's not that good. Chet Holmgren, he ain't that good. Like, I'm finding myself discrediting the current stars on the team, and it's I don't know where it comes from. I genuinely don't.
You just really don't like the state of Oklahoma,
Maybe.
It's big, it's flat, who cares, looks like a pan or whatever. The state I live in shares a border with them. I don't know.
It's a real small border.
It's tiny. Yeah, it's like because Oklahoma's shaped like whatever. There's like this one teeny tiny little corner that I think we share with Oklahoma, that you have like no reason to cross unless you're going a very specific way. But yes, Indiana doesn't share a border with? No, it doesn't share a border with Oklahoma.
We share a border with 4 states.
Yes. Oh, we share a border with 6 states, 7 states, something like that. Because we got the 4 corners, so there's like 3 there, and then there's like Oklahoma, Texas, and then the country of Mexico. So, yes.
Now I will talk about lacrosse.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't have a third story, so you just go nuts.
Yes, I will go absolutely nuts. So, PLL Lacrosse. For anybody who doesn't know, the PLL Lacrosse was founded by Paul Rabel while he was still a player in the Major League Lacrosse.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
He was Paul Rabel was lacrosse's first millionaire. The greatest player of all time, owns the all-time points record.
Nice.
He was so good, and the MLL was so pissed when he left. They brought back the number 2 guy for 2 seasons and just had him shoot until he had more points than Paul Rabel had when he left. It's so funny. After a few, they started off with 6 teams, which were the let's see, they didn't have cities at this point, so it was Chaos, Archers, Whip Snakes, Redwoods, my team, Chrome, and oh god, what the fuck was the other? Atlas.
Okay.
They then, after a couple of years, they then expanded to have the Water Dogs.
Oh.
Yep. The Water Dogs. A perfectly fine franchise. They got it. They have a championship.
Nice.
Redwoods don't, sadly.
Oh.
The Redwoods could have won one the first year. That was the closest they got. They lost in overtime to the Whip Snakes.
Oh, I remember you talking about the Whip Snakes. Yes.
Yes, I hate them. That's a justified hatred though, because the first 3 years of the existence of the league, the Whip Snakes knocked out the Redwoods in the playoffs.
Ugh, those damn Whip Snakes.
2 of those years, and back-to-back years, it was overtime losses.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. And then after a few seasons, I want to say after 4 seasons, they bought the MLL. The rights to all their logos, their team histories, everything. They just straight up bought it and absorbed it in.
Okay.
And after that, they then used the Cannons, who were the Boston Cannons, are now back to being the Boston Cannons. They expanded out to the Cannons, had a couple of seasons like that, and then they finally added team cities for the teams.
Yeah.
So you have the Utah Archers, the New York Atlas, the Boston Cannons, Carolina Chaos,
Okay.
Maryland Whip Snakes, Philadelphia Water Dogs, California Redwoods, and then the Chrome got converted to the Denver Outlaws. First games of the season were last night, and the Redwoods, for the first time, have a new head coach.
Oh.
Nat
Okay.
St. Laurent was the coach from 2019 to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
He had a record of 25 and 28, not counting playoffs.
Okay.
Where in the playoffs he was 4-5.
Okay.
He stepped down. Coaches don't get fired in the PLL. They step down because every team is owned by the PLL itself.
Right.
Which is just kind of either contracts expire or they step down. Every team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And nobody gets fired.
I was not to interrupt you, but funny enough, that's exactly how the UFL works. Every team is owned by the league, and so it's pretty much exactly the same. Like, coaches don't really get fired; they just step down. Yes. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. The current head coach in his first season is Anthony Kelly, a legendary face-off man, like one of the best in history. Which is and he came in. Redwoods were dreadful last year.
Okay.
Absolutely dreadful. They had like a -38 score differential, and they were They were 3-7.
Okay.
And still didn't get the #1 overall pick.
Yikes.
Yep. But from there, let's see, what was I gonna say? But coming into this game, I had a lot of hype. You know, a lot of young players. They had a ton of rookies, like an absolute ton of rookies. And the highest they scored all of last season was 15 goals, and a loss to the Atlas.
Really?
Where they lost 15-20.
Wow.
Yep. Highest they scored all season.
Okay.
And 15 is a pretty good amount, you know?
Yeah. I was gonna say I have no context for whether that's high or low, but
15 is a very good amount. I see a lot of games trend between the 9 and 12.
Okay.
Game 1 under Anthony Kelly
Redwoods won 15-12 against the Outlaws.
Oh,
So they
okay.
matched their height of last season in game 1.
All right.
And it looked like they were still trying to figure out exactly how they wanted to run the offense.
Oh. Okay, Redwoods.
Yes, roll Woods.
Roll Woods.
That's their thing. It's roll Woods.
Okay. So okay, I pulled up the PLL website.
It's garbage.
Yeah. Well, it's not great, but and I was gonna say I'm gonna pick a team right now,
Okay.
based entirely on logo.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me see. Logo and name. All right, well, I'm looking. Let's see. Oh man, I do not like how they have formatted this website.
It's bad.
When you're looking at the the team logos, the first 1, 2, 3, 4 are the same size, and then they get steadily bigger as you go. Who formatted this? Anyway,
I was gonna say if you scroll down on their main screen, it shows all 8 teams in a banner.
yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. If you look at the banner,
what are you talking about? They're all the same size for me.
No, they're not. The first 4 are different size than the last 4. They get steadily bigger. Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen.
I don't have that issue.
I need you to see this.
Okay.
This is not important, but it's important to me.
Yeah, no. Go ahead, show me.
Okay. All right. If you look at these here. These are all one size. Okay. But then if you look at these, they get bigger. Like this one is bigger than this one, and then this one is bigger than this one. This one is
You're
bigger
creating an issue that doesn't exist.
No, it's not an issue. I'm saying
that Whip Snakes logo and the Carolina Chaos logo are the same size.
Yes, but the box is bigger. Look at the box.
Oh shit, the box is bigger.
See what I'm saying? I understand.
No, it's based off of how long their team name is.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying. Like,
okay, I thought you meant the logos themselves. I was like, what are you talking about?
The box is bigger. That's what's bothering me. Anyway.
Oh yes.
I just saying you could put the name of, you could stack the names and it would all be ubiquitous, but it's fine. Okay. Anyway, that was not important. Nobody cared about that.
I can tell you all of the colors of each team if you want to know before.
No. I'm just gonna pick.
Okay.
I pick the Carolina Chaos. I like I like the logo. I like the Scorpion logo. I like that they're called the Chaos. I think that's funny. I'm in. I'm a Carolina Chaos fan now.
All right. Carolina Chaos, a scrappy team, not known for being particularly good at anything.
Perfect. That's perfect for me.
But they're always in the mix for the championship because every time they hit the playoffs, they turn into the scrappiest team known to man.
Hell yeah. Love
they
it.
They actually have a championship.
Okay. All right.
They stopped the Whip Snakes from three-peating to start PLL history.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the teams that have won are Whip Snakes won 2 in a row to start. Then the Chaos won. Then the Water Dogs won.
Okay.
And then Utah has won the last 2.
Okay. You know, I just got to say, just looking at their thing here, the prices for their merch is surprisingly reasonable.
It is reasonable. It's not bad. Yeah, because you can get a hoodie for like $20.
$20 is not bad at all.
No. Now, you say that until you see the price of their jerseys.
The jersey, I understand. I get it. For the jerseys, I get it. It's fine. Like all jerseys are like $100. But like, like $60 for a weaved hoodie.
Yeah. It's so sad what happened to the Chaos jerseys. They used to be so cool because they used to have like a slashed design of like where half of it was black, half of it was red. And then Champion started producing the gear and everything got dumb looking. I'm just glad the Redwoods kept their tree motif on their stripes.
Yeah. Let me check out the California Redwoods merch.
Well, I was gonna say if you just go to their shop, the first thing that you see is a jersey for every team, the home jersey.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
It's like a tree bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Oh, these are nice jerseys. They kind of look like a
They are
watermelon
nice.
a little bit.
A little bit. I got a couple of jerseys, actually. I own a couple.
They're quite nice.
I have one from the first year, and then
Okay.
I have last year's Indigenous Heritage Month one.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Let's see. The New York's got a decent color scheme there. Boston's jersey just looks like a Chicago Bears jersey.
No, because they have the Patriots colors.
I don't know that orange and that reddish
It's not
orange.
orange. It's red.
Oh man, am I colorblind? Oh, it is red, but it kind of looks like the Chicago color scheme. I think you'll find I'm right if you stare at it hard enough.
No.
I do not like Philly's color. That is terrible.
Oh yeah, that purple.
That purple is bad.
Well, so their uniform used to be like a watercolor splash, and they had a different
Oh.
logo. They didn't. They had a different logo up until they got to Philly, and now the
Yeah.
new logo is terrible.
Okay. Most of these are not bad.
Yeah,
Utah's
their old logo used to be a dog that was like in the shape of a water droplet with a lacrosse stick in its mouth.
Oh,
It was really good, and
that
then
is
they got rid
that
of
would
it.
be good. Yeah, this one's not
Yeah,
great.
the only team, sorry, two teams kept their logo the exact same after getting a city. All they did was have the name slapped on it, and that was the Redwoods.
Yeah.
Well, no, Redwoods changed as well, but it just changed from like an angular tree-shaped bear to a regular looking bear. The whip snakes are basically the exact same.
The Archers logo is terrible. It's just the shape of the state. Oh no, they got a little arrow thing. There we go.
Yeah, they have an arrow motif.
I was gonna say their jersey though is just the name Utah, and then it's got like the state in the A.
Yeah, well, look, Boston, they're the Cannons.
That's in theory not a bad,
No.
Their jersey's bad though.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, let's go back to what I was talking about.
Yes.
Redwoods beat the Outlaws.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
And the only thing I will say about that is, rookie out of Notre Dame, Chris Kavanaugh, a revelation. I feel like I'm watching a whole new offense with him.
All right.
He's so good. So points are like soccer or hockey points. You get a single point for a goal, a single point for an assist. But the PLL also has a 2-point goal line.
Okay.
Where if you shoot from beyond it, if you shoot from beyond the arc, it's 2 points.
Oh, okay.
Chris Kavanaugh, rookie out of Notre Dame, part of the legendary Kavanaugh family. 5 points, 4 goals, 1 assist in his debut.
Sorry,
his PLL debut went nuts.
Okay. I was pulling up a highlight reel here. Let me look at this.
Oh, of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find it on the PLL's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Let's see. All right, here we go.
We're doing some great advertising here.
Yeah.
For the PLL.
I know.
While you watch that, I'll continue talking about some stuff. So
I was going to say we get paid per time we say PLL.
It's negative. It's negative money multiplied by a negative number at the end.
Yeah.
That negative number is 0.
Yeah. So far we've gotten nothing, but we'll keep hoping.
Face-off was actually a little bad for the Redwoods this year, which is really funny because their coach is now, one of the all-time greats at face-off. But TD Erlin had a bad game for him. He still won 55% of his face-offs, but that's a bad game for him. The most important thing was goalie play.
Okay.
It looked the exact same as last year. I am terrified.
So last year, the Redwoods were the only team with a sub 50% save percentage.
Eee. That sounds bad.
Yep. Erlin, not the, oh god, this is a bit confusing. There's two Erlins on the Redwoods. They're brothers. And Chase Erlin, who's the goalie, had 47.6% as his save percentage. Not a great game, but defense did enough,
Okay.
and the offense was lights out. So
That's all you need.
yep, 40% shooting percentage across the board for Redwoods offense. Do you know what that means?
No, but I'm here for it.
Okay, so the shooting percentage is the shot percentage is the percentage of shots that went into the goal.
Well, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep, 40% of their shots went in.
Is that
compared
good?
to yep.
Okay.
Is that yes, that is how that works.
Okay.
Yep. Compared to 20% from the Outlaws.
That's not good.
No.
Okay.
Chaos actually played yesterday, so let's talk about the Chaos game a little bit.
Okay. All
I watched that as well. They played the New York Atlas.
Okay.
And they lost 8-10.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Not my Chaos.
Yes, your Chaos. So the way the PLL works is that every team travels to every other team stadium with a couple of neutral sites.
Okay.
And the home team plays 2 games.
Okay.
They play the first game of the weekend and the last game of the weekend.
Okay.
So Atlas was the home team. They were in New York. Specifically, they were at Albany.
Okay.
Because Albany has a pretty big lacrosse program out there. You know, some of the greatest players went through there.
Okay.
And the only thing that I can say regarding the Chaos's performance, it was better than expected.
I'll take it.
Chaos and Redwoods were kind of expected to be like steamrolled this year.
Okay.
They were kind of expected to just get blown through as if they were supposed to be the Cleveland Browns. But Chaos put up a good fight. You know. Oh god, Jesus. What the fuck? Okay. They did not do well on face-off. They only had a 20% face-off win
that's not
over the
good.
course of the game. That's pretty bad. But I expect Chaos to do pretty well over the course of the year. You know, you have the greatest goalie of all time, and Blaze Riordan.
His name is Blaze?
Yes.
Hell yeah. His name is Blaze and he plays for the Chaos? That's incredible.
Yep. He spent his entire career his entire PLL career with Chaos.
Okay. All right, I'm in.
He started off with the Rochester Rattlers
Oh.
of the MLL.
Okay. They got some fun names in these leagues.
Yeah, they didn't change to the Dallas Rattlers, but yeah, the MLL doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, like
they got bought.
Yeah, they got bought.
That's right.
We're slowly going to see teams get moved in with the old names and the old places.
All right. Cool. I'm learning a lot today.
Let's see. Yeah, no, but Blaze Riordan, one of the greatest goalies of all time, if not the greatest. He is an anomaly in terms of goalies. God. I don't know how many awards he's won.
Mm-hmm.
A good chunk. I think he won most of the goalie of the year awards. I'm just gonna go to Premier Lacrosse League. I'm gonna look up all the award winners for Chaos.
Okay. Well, you do that. I'm gonna look something up too.
You find something to talk about.
Well, no, I was gonna look at. Okay,
Okay, here we go. Goalie of the Year award winners. All right, keep in mind the league started in 2019. He won in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, and 2024.
Oh wow.
Yep, I only missed out on 2022.
Huh.
Yep. Oh, and Chaos has has a new head coach for the first time in history as well this year.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You would have liked Andy Towers. He was very much a you know, Dan Campbell from the same
Nice.
cloth type guy.
Hell yeah.
He stepped down. Just I don't know. He coached for 6 seasons.
Okay.
I don't know. He stepped down because he wanted to, I guess.
That's fair. So I looked it up because I was curious. I'm always curious with these like smaller leagues, like what do players actually make? Like in terms of money. And supposedly the minimum salary is about $25,000, which is about a part-time job. So
yeah, they've talked about it, and they want to eventually grow the sport to where every player gets full-time pay. I think like the top players do get full-time pay.
yeah.
But like your undrafted rookies who come in are going to be earning that 25,000. But keep in mind their off season, like their OTAs and training start in May, and then the season ends in September. So that's 25,000 just for that stretch.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Like that's if you think about it that way, it's like 25,000 for what 4 months of work. So like
Yeah.
if you extend that over the year, you'd be making 75, which is like that's not bad. But that I'm just saying that to point out that like that's assuming that these are like athletes who this is all they do, for that period of time, and then they've got, probably other work that they do the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I just always find that stuff interesting. It's like because
a lot of players end up playing in the NLL as well, which is inside lacrosse. It's like indoor. It's the National Lacrosse League, and that pays like similar. So you got a lot of guys who double dip, and that's how they. And a lot of guys also end up with sponsorships because the PLL actively wants players to go out and find sponsorships and get sponsored. As well as they have a player equity thing. Every time any player who ever comes through the league at any point owns a percentage of the company.
Oh, that's cool.
They own like shares of the company.
Yeah. Huh.
And that's like it's to keep the focus on the players and not on like the business of the team.
Right.
Like of course that's important, but they want the players to know that they are first and foremost in the league.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Let's see. I can actually look at the list of the highest paid lacrosse players.
I think it said it's between 25 and 50,000. So I assume it's somewhere there.
As of this year, it's the minimum salary is 35,000.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, that 25,000 is actually from the National Lacrosse League.
Oh, Wikipedia lied to me.
Yeah, well, no, that number was true when the PLL first formed.
Okay.
Yep. And the MLL, Major League Lacrosse, minimum salary was 12,000.
Jeez Louise.
So that's why the PLL was formed. That's why the PLL was formed.
Okay.
Because there was no. Yeah, there was nothing. God. Let's see.
Very interesting.
Tom Schreiber is the highest paid player in the year. In the league, making approximately 50,000 before sponsorships. Blaze Reardon is also making 50,000.
Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
I took 35,000 to play lacrosse.
I was gonna say I wouldn't shy away from that amount of money at all. I'd just be like, yeah, I'll come back to work at my other job when I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I always think about that with like any sort of, I mean, obviously PLL is a major league for that sport, but like any sort of minor league, I'm always curious about like how much those people get paid and like, what they're making, like, how they're able to manage that and like whatever. Because I remember
I'm sure the
go ahead.
I'm sure the UFL does some of these guys aren't getting paid. Like I don't know what the minimum is.
I think the minimum is like $5,000 a week or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not terrible. Like, it's I think they make around what like a practice league player or a practice squad player makes in the NFL.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit less than that, but they're different because I believe they have like they don't do like player contracts. So like the quarterback is making the same as like your second string safety or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of like everybody gets paid the same, and then I think they like individual players might get bonuses based on performance or something like that. I was reading about it one time, but um, the league is also pretty new, like it because the UFL is a combination of the XFL and the USFL, I think, and they like merged and became one league, and then now they're uh, the UFL. So I was looking into it one time, but yeah, they're not making a ton. I can tell you that much. They're not making NFL money.
No. Now let's talk about difficulties in trying to watch the PLL.
Okay.
When it first started,
Uh-huh.
you had God, what was I gonna say? Yeah, sorry. When it first started, they had to deal with NBC,
Hmm.
which meant that a couple of games a year, I want to say like one game a week was on TV on NBC, and
Okay.
then like sorry, NBC Sports, and then every other game you had to go on to the NBC Sports app, pay a subscription plan specifically for the PLL, and then watch it from there, and it was terrible.
That sounds terrible.
And now it's arguably a little worse.
Okay.
Let's see.
Because
Sorry, no, more games when had NBC, more games were on TV because most of them
Yeah.
were on NBC Sports Network. Which, by the way, nobody knows what the fuck that is
No.
because it doesn't exist anymore. It didn't do well.
Okay.
But I guess they have more like big broadcast games now
Mm.
compared to it. So they now have a contract with Disney.
Ah.
So they now have games played on ABC, not
Mhm.
ABC Sports, just ABC itself, ESPN, and ESPN2. The rest of the
Okay.
games are on ESPN Plus.
Ah. That old demon.
Yes,
ESPN
that old
Plus.
demon. I have so many issues with ESPN Plus, but I will say the coverage is good.
Okay.
The quality is good. The announcers are good. They're fantastic.
That's good.
Yep. The commentary is, I think it's still provided by, yeah, it's still provided. It's still provided by Ryan Boyle and Brendan Burke.
Okay.
If you're into lacrosse, you know who they are. If you don't, just listen to them. They're entertaining.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's a really well put together league. In terms of in terms of how it's presented and everything, it's a lot better than any other lacrosse that exists out there.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is that players are mic'd up, and certain players every game get an earbud
Oh, okay.
so that commentary can talk to them during the game.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So like, of course, they're not going to do it while they're actively having to
Right.
play defense or offense,
Right.
but like if the ball's on the other side, they'll be like, "All right, so what the hell? What just happened there?"
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Oh man, if I was a player, I would fucking hate that.
Oh no, dude, I love it. I love it because you'll have players who like Eppel, who was on the Redwoods for forever until he went to the Cannons. I want to say it was the third year or something like that. That happened, and it was just like, so like talk about the evolution of the Redwoods defense. It seems to be a step up compared to the last couple of years, and it was already elite. And he's like, yeah, you know, that's just a whole lot of drilling into these guys, into the offseason. I've been getting as many people together as I can so we can drill in exactly what we want to do and where. And oh fuck,
fuck. Because the ball, like, when that happened, a player just sprinted down the field.
Yeah.
Apple turned and suddenly realized it's his man now.
Oh man, that's good stuff. That happens in the UFL too, where because they do this a similar thing where they will tap into certain players or coaches or whatever. And I was watching one of the first broadcasts this year, and they had tuned into the I think it was the offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator who was calling a play, and he was saying like, all right, snap the ball, snap, fuck, because they got called to like a delay a game or whatever. I was like, oh man, and you it cut before the fuck was over. He's like, fuck. I was like, oh, that's good stuff. That's the danger of tuning into those guys live.
Yeah.
Every
once, during commercial breaks or timeouts or like lulls when they're getting the ball set back up, sometimes they will show like a short clip of the guy who's mic'd up, like running whatever he's doing. So like if he's the captain on the defense or like he's in charge of the defense, so they'll cut clips to him like shouting out like, hey, over here, there's your man, and they do it with the goalie and stuff on offense. And it's interesting to like hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I heard it all the time when I was in high school. Right. But not as fast.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. So you played lacrosse in high school?
Yes, I played lacrosse in high school.
Oh, nice. This may surprise you. I didn't really play any sports in high school, but I was on the bowling team, which is a sport technically.
Athlete.
I was an athlete. I was a student athlete. And we won state championships one time, and I got to stand in front of the school, like at an assembly or whatever. That was pretty sick. Cool. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't on the team that won the state championship. I was on one of the lower teams, but we did win the state championship.
All right.
Because in bowling, you have we had stratified leagues, so it was like you had like the advanced team, the intermediate, and the lower. And I was on the intermediate, and I tell you what, I was killing it there. But I also quit the year that I would have had to be on the advanced team because I was like, I don't want that pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were both student athletes, is what I'm saying.
Oh man. I will say, if you ever decide to actually watch lacrosse, and the Chaos don't do very well.
Okay.
Or sorry, the Chaos end top 4, but they get knocked out in the semifinals, and it's not the end of their championship hopes.
Okay.
They have a mini league in February called the Champions League that uses the Olympic format. So it's faster play. There's like a face-off to start the game, and then after every goal, it's just the goalie picks it up and throws it out.
Okay.
It's a shorter field and shorter shot clock, all that. So they have those where it's the Champions League, and then the top 4 teams go into the Champions League and compete.
Okay, cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I had another thing I was going to talk about, and I forgot about it.
Oh, let's go to that.
It's not really important, but
this is enough time on lacrosse. Nobody cares about lacrosse.
I care about it now.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, you have a team and everything.
I have a team. I was watching some highlights. I'm in. I'm going to watch it because I saw that there's a game on ESPN right now, or ABC or something.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that the other thing that the NFL did, they passed the thing that said that NFL players can now play flag football in the Olympics, which is it's like whatever, who cares? But it did force me to watch some flag football. Like I was curious. I was like, I've never really watched professional flag football. I did not realize that the field was shorter. It's like half the distance of a regular football field. And also there's only like 5 dudes out there on each team, which I didn't know either. And you're not allowed to play press man coverage, which is crazy.
I think the US team, current team,
Yeah.
quarterback said that the members of the current team should have a chance to compete against. I'm like, dude, you do not want to try to compete. Like, you are fast and you can throw the ball. You know who's faster and can throw the ball better? Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
I was going to say Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
like, dude, no. I get it. It's your sport. You've been playing it for a lot longer. My guy, these are NFL players.
Yeah. I'm very sorry, my friend, but Justin Jefferson is going to take your job.
Oh man,
I know.
I just want to imagine, like, it's because it's going to the Olympics.
Yeah, it's our sport that we get to add. Yeah.
Yep. I think Canada added lacrosse.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because lacrosse is going to be in the next one.
Yep.
And it's really funny because I just want to imagine some, I don't know, let's imagine some French dude plays flag football. Does it, like, it's not 100% his career because you don't get paid a ton to be
right
an Olympic athlete if you're not winning competitions, and flag football, I guarantee you, does not pay enough to pay the bills.
No.
So let's say you're a salary man, you're an accountant in France, and you play flag football, and you're really good at it. What are you gonna do when you line up against Jamar Chase?
Right. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. Although I did see, because part of the thing that they passed was that NFL teams can play or NFL players can also, I think it's like one player from each team can play on an international team, or like any country's team. So like, I know that like Kyler Murray, I think it was said he might play for Korea because I think he's got some like Korean heritage. I might be thinking of a different player.
Maybe.
And then,
well, see, the NFL can pass that all they want. The Olympics is very strict about you have to have citizenship in the country.
Yeah.
And it can't be an honorary citizenship. Like, you have to go through the normal process.
Yes. Yeah, it was Kyler Murray. Yeah. Because his grandma on his mom's side was from Korea. So he's like I think he's half Korean, but anyway,
quarter
Korean. Well, you know what I mean. But yes. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown was also like, I'm gonna play for Germany because his mom is from Germany. So it might even out a little bit. It might kind of end up like basketball did, where it's like, yeah, America's still gonna pounce on everybody, but some of the teams might have a couple of guys.
I don't think. No. No, I think it's gonna be a slaughter. I think the U.S. is gonna handedly win like 132-7 in every game.
Yeah, probably.
And then the Olympics will never bring back flag football.
No. Well, that's something that I think a lot of people don't know, is that when you're a host country, you get to add, I think it's like 2 or 3 sports or something like that. So like when it was in France, that's why they had breakdancing, because they added that. I know when it was in Japan, they added karate, was one of the sports that they added. So it is funny that America's like, well, we know baseball has international appeal. We know this, whatever. Let's do football so we can kick everybody's ass.
Yeah. And it will never return again.
No, it'll never come back.
Lacrosse actually has a decent chance of staying because there's already a world championship.
Yeah.
Lacrosse. And now usually it's Canada or the US who wins.
Well, yeah.
But it does exist.
It does
the PLL
exist.
makes a yearly trip to Japan to play the Japanese national team.
Oh, that's cool.
It's the PLL All-Stars against the Japanese national team.
Oh, well, I can't imagine that goes too well, but
no, it doesn't. Actually, a couple of years ago, it was a close game.
Yeah.
But this last year, I think it was like 27-10 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So not close.
Blaze Reardon just was in for a half. Nobody scored on him. He sat for a half, and then they scored 9. So
that's pretty good. I'm trying to think. Is there any? I mean, obviously, there's sports that like in the Olympics, America isn't always number one, but like, I feel like there's only like a couple where it's like
soccer, obviously, and then like
cricket. it was cricket until U.S. decided to field a team.
That's right. Let's go.
We just beat everybody's ass. I think we ended up losing the championship. Yeah, we did. But so it's like soccer, cricket, and then I can't think of what, I don't know, archery maybe. Like that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a decent chunk of like
ping pong.
The United States is just so big and has so many athletes that they can generally just compete in anything.
We also tend to spend a shit ton of money on our Olympic athletes.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever driven by the. I think it's in Colorado, like the Olympic training facility. It's just this
really? Me who lives in the Midwest, have I driven by the?
I don't know.
Olympic training center.
You can drive. You can drive places.
I'm not driving to Colorado.
I've driven by it. It's huge. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that about does it. Did you ever get your YouTube channel up and running?
Oh man, no, I didn't. So much like the name, I'm lagging behind on that.
Oh, okay.
it's on brand. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'll have something. Hopefully I'll have something. At least one out by the next time we record.
Okay. Hell yeah. Well, everybody go check that out when you get the chance. What's the full channel name?
It was just lagging behind. I don't have like anything set up for it. The channel exists, but I have it hidden right now because I want like a couple videos up before I
go live.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just I keep waiting so long to record that I end up having to rewrite my script because of something else happening. So I have a script which was originally just me making fun of the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
That has now evolved into just talking about like movies I've seen recently and kind of doing like a little bit of a comparison thing because the main three are Minecraft movie, Thunderbolts, and Sinners, which go from all qualities, from bad to pretty to okay, like to a decent movie to one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. So
yeah,
hopefully that gets out at some point.
Okay. All right. Well, whenever that goes out, we'll advertise it. You can check out my other podcast, which is Viva La Action, where I talk about action movies. That comes out bi-weekly, so you can check that out every other week. We will be having a new episode coming out 2 days after this goes out. So we're going to be talking about The One-Armed Swordsman, which is a Shaw Brothers film from the 1960s, Kung Fu epic. So everybody can go check that out. We recently also talked about Bullet, which is the Steve McQueen action car chase movie. Yes. So go check all that stuff out. There's a link in the show notes with all that. Yes. You were going to say something? It looked like
no. The only thing I was going to say is it's entertaining. It is fun.
Thank you. Yes.
That's and if you search deep enough in the archives, I'm on one episode.
You are. You're on our Fury episode.
Yep.
It's not that deep. It's like a year and a half ago or something. Yes, we had Dugan on. Dugan was our first ever guest. We've only had 2 guests, and you were one of them. We're gonna have you back on at some point. We just gotta find. I think I'm gonna have you on the raid episode when we do that. Eventually.
Oh yes, yes.
So yes. Anyway, besides that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us wherever you follow your podcasts. Leave us a nice review. 5 stars. Download us. 5 stars helps out the show. Yes. Share it with your friends and family. If you know somebody who likes sports and wants to hear us talk about lacrosse for 45 minutes. Yes. That's all we got. You got anything else?
No. I think I'm good.
Okay. You can email us at wdkb@gmail.com, podcast@gmail.com, I think. I always have to double check. I don't remember what the email is. Hold on, everybody. I think it's wdkb at something. I don't have it pulled up. It'll be in the show notes. It'll be down there. Just click on that link and it'll bring it up. Yes, we should have had a shorter name for our show. Then it'll be easier to advertise. But
who cares?
Who cares? We'll be back next month. Talk about more stuff. NBA Finals probably. Baseball, maybe.
More lacrosse.
More lacrosse. The UFL championships will have happened. All kinds of stuff. And then, yes, that's it. That's all I got. I'm out of stuff to say, Dugan. Help me.
All right. I don't have anything else to say. Yeah, for those of you watching, keep watching. For those of you not watching, start watching.
Start watching, man. My name is Santi. Thanks for watching. That's Dugan.
Goodbye.
Catch you next time. Bye.